So you're planning on going to the UK Games Expo, or UKGE for short, this year. Here are 5 tips to try and make that experience a little easier for you, or, well, just a better experience overall. Let's jump into the list. The first thing people are going to be interested in is actually getting to the event, and it's super easy to. There is a train directly from the middle of Birmingham that goes past the NEC, so you can get off there. It's like goes towards the International Airport of Birmingham, and you can get off at the NEC. And then it's a short, maybe 5-10 minute walk, depending on exactly where in the convention hall the expo is being held, and also how quickly you walk. It's a super quick train ride from the centre of Birmingham, and then that short walk where there'll be a flood of people. And when I say a flood, it's not, elbowing past people. Everyone's sort of slowly meandering in the same direction towards the queues and convention hall to get in. So it's a really simple way just to get that train from the centre of Birmingham out to the NEC. Would highly recommend that if that's what you're going to do. The other way you can get there is obviously to drive, and well, first of all, I would advise prepaying for your car park if you know what days you're going to go on. It saves you a little bit of money, and also normally means you can get in one of the sort of closer car parks. And here is where there's an extra thing. If you're in one of those closer car parks, it may actually be quicker for you to park up and walk to the convention hall. There's signposted routes, even some tunnel bits that go under some of the roads, so you're not having to go across main roads, etc. And you can walk to the convention hall in about 5 minutes from most of the car parks. That can be very useful. Now, obviously, if you can't walk, there is often bus services that you can just sort of hop on and off to get basically from the car parks to the convention hall. But with a lot of people, certainly at the end of the day coming out of the convention, sometimes it's quicker to walk than wait for a bus. So just bear that in mind. Parking is a good thing, a good option. It's not cheap. You may or may not want to use that bus service just to get from the car park to the convention hall. It doesn't take long to walk. Quite a lot of people do walk, and you might actually be quicker than waiting for a bus if there's a big queue. Moving now to when you're actually at the convention, you are a captive audience, and that means that food costs are going to be, well, convention style pricing. You're not going to get necessarily the cheapest food inside. Now, however, there are options just within a few minutes walk. If you walk back towards the train station where you can get on and off, there is a subway there, as well as the subways that are closer, just in case the queues are long. There's also a shopping centre which under 5-minute walk away, and that's got a load of other options, sit down meal options if you're wanting that maybe after the convention or even during as just a bit more of a chill. There's a Five Guys and different things like that there. We can just grab a burger. So there are a number of different options if you do want food. Just know that sometimes it's quicker to leave the convention hall, walk for 5 minutes, grab food and go back than it is to wait in the queue for one of the things that's actually available there. Now, this moves into my next point, which is you should definitely be taking a water bottle. I always put it on these lists for conventions because it's super important. First of all, you stay hydrated, and second of all, you're not going to have to queue up to buy a drink when you're starting to get a little bit hot in the convention hall. You've got that bottle of water, it's saving you some money for buying a drink, it's keeping you hydrated, and well, by saving you that time, it's giving you more time to play games, which is why you're actually going to UK Games Expo in the first place. So that's another thing to think about when you're going and when you're actually there. And last but not least, the point for playing games. You're not going to be able to play everything. First of all, there's plenty of other people trying to get demos and see games that are there, and you might be really fortunate. You might turn up just as one table is finishing a game and you can sit down and play, but often you will have to maybe wait a little bit of time if that's a game you want to demo. Knowing ahead of time what you might want to see, that's going to be super important, especially if you're only there for like 1 day or maybe even 2 days. Go with a top 3, a top 1, a top 5. depending on how long you're going to be there, and make sure you go and play those games. Wandering round is pretty awesome because you get to see games that you didn't think about or you hadn't heard about. Oh, I wouldn't mind playing that. But if there are some games that you really want to play, just make sure you go, wait, and sometimes talk to the people that are demoing, because they can give you sort of an indication. They've just started, it's probably going to be like 40 minutes, or they're just coming to the end, 10 minutes, and you can go, yeah, I'll wait 10 minutes and then I can play the game that I really want. So go into it sort of knowing at least a few games that you want to play, and yeah, you can always wander around and explore and find other games. But if there is something you know you want to play, make sure you do go and do that one. In keeping with that final point, I will be releasing my top 5 and maybe a few more games that I really want to see at UK Games Expo, as well as some ideas of games that I've really enjoyed that will be at the show. So stick around on the channel for that, and until next time, have a fantastic time at the UK Games Expo.